Welcome back to the Smugsy Show. I'm Smugsy, your host. Almost every Wednesday we meet here to talk about important things and important people. And this week, it's what separates us, the C word. There are really two kinds of people in the world. Those who can say the C word out loud and those who can't. I'm in the latter category. It could be because I was born in New York. But I live in Maine, and in Maine, the C word is like really part of the natural dialect. Everybody uses it, including Tucker Carlson, who spends a lot of time in Maine. Maybe you heard he has a place in Bryant Pond where he recorded his Fox News show that had the highest ratings, Tucker Carlson Tonight, out of the old Public Works garage in Woodstock, Maine. Not far from here. Not necessarily a stone's throw, but maybe an hour. I drive through it on my way skiing. Well, Tucker got canned for calling his boss, we believe, the C word. And it just raises a lot of questions. I mean, other words, synonyms for the C word, roll off my tongue, okay? Box, beaver, snatch, miff, pudenda. No problem. Easy peasy. But when it comes to the C word, I'm a little bit like the Greek mother in my favorite fat Greek wedding, presented with a bunt cake. She can't say bunt, so she says bunt. Well, kunt is what I say. That's how I get around it. That's my go-around. And kunta, kinte, it's kind of like that, but the C word. It's kunta with a C. And you can do that too. I mean, it's coping. I think what happened with Tucker Carlson is he wanted to use the C word as his pronoun. And they were like, okay, enough's enough. There's only so much of this woke nonsense we're going to take. But if you think about it, I mean, can trans be C? It's a minefield, really. But what's interesting to me is just the power of that word. There's a warning when you go to the dictionary and look it up. Usage alert about kunt. All senses of this word are vulgar slang and are very strongly tabooed and censored. The meaning that refer to a woman and a contemptible person are used with disparaging intent and are perceived as highly insulting and demeaning. There are many words used to refer to people in sexual terms. However, to call a person a kunt, especially a woman, is one of the most hateful and powerful examples of verbal abuse in the English language. And then they say, see also gash, G-A-S-H. That's another word for kunt. Who knew? Think about how many times kunt is said on the Kirk Minihane show. It's like every other word, really. Tucker Carlson could be Friday's guest, come to think of it. I mean, Tucker Carlson and Kirk Minihane have a lot in common. Summered in Maine, the preppy, sort of all-American look, shock jock. Of course, they divert a little bit. I think Kirk had the highest ratings, right, for drive time radio in Boston. Tucker had the highest ratings for Fox. They both really were not liked by advertisers, but made up for it with the viewing audience, and both bad boys got canned for using bad words. In the case of Kirk Minihane, of course, the B word. I think he said about Erin Andrews she was a gutless bitch, I think. And I have no problem saying that. That just rolls off my tongue. Tucker Carlson referred to, I think, the executive who canned him, or at least one of them, Suzanne Scott, I think her name is. He referred to her as a kunt. And then in the litigation, it was going to be redacted, and he was mad about that. And he got canned for the C word. So you got Kirk with the B word, Tucker with the C word. I don't know where the power of that word comes from. It sounds like fecund, which I hate. I hate that word. In fact, I just almost feel sick to my stomach that I just said it. And that's probably why I can't say the C word properly. But Maine, we in Maine accept really, just about anybody. Well, you just mind your own business. If you want to say kunt, you say it. If you want to say, the other way, you can say that too. The people in Bryan Pond, they're all for Tucker Carlson, okay? They love him. He's been summering for, 40 years? He has a place there. He fly fishes. It was on the porch, I think, that he got the call from Roger Ailes to come down to New York and audition for the Tucker Carlson Tonight eventually. And he got canned, but Maine has his back, and so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him soon. I know some of the big names in Maine are really rolling out the red carpet for Tucker Carlson. Linda Bean, Linda Bean, the granddaughter of Big Daddy Bean, LL Bean. Linda Bean's famous store is Linda Bean's Perfect Maine. Linda Bean's Perfect Maine lobster roll is gangbusters. It's iconic. Well, she's behind Tucker all the way. And she's rolling out this spring Linda Bean's Perfect Kunt. I expect it'll be a hit. You can expect it in stores, I'm sure, maybe by Christmas. So I think there's a lot of bright days ahead for Tucker Carlson. But the C word is one thing that as a society we're going to really have to come to grips with. Is it obscene? I don't think so. Do you have a right to say the C word? Do you have a right not to say the C word? For instance, if you were a waitress at Linda Bean's Perfect Maine restaurant, and she puts on the menu in support of Tucker Carlson, Linda Bean's Perfect, Kunt, and you don't want to say it because it's against your religion, do you have to say it? Can you just not say it on Sunday? So stay tuned. We're going to follow these culture wars and the C words and the B words. All the words, all the important words. And we'll do it together here on the Smugsy Show. And until next time, this is Smugsy Girl signing off. Take care.